Minister without portfolio in the office of the Prime Minister and Member of Parliament for Southwest St. Elizabeth, the Honourable Floyd Green, MP, Mayor of Black River and Chairman of the St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation, His Worship, the Mayor, Councillor Derek Sangster, Chairman of the St. Elizabeth Southwest Adjudication Committee, Mr. Jeremy Palmer, Chief Executive Officer and Commissioner of Lands at the National Land Agency, Ms. Cherise Walcott, Senior Director, Adjudication Services at the National Land Agency, Ms. Shalise Porteous, Chief Executive Officer of Geoland Titling Limited, Mr. Garfield Knight, Chief Executive Officer of the National Irrigation Commission, Mr. Joseph Giles, Principal of Newell High School, Mrs. Audrey Ellington, Senior Directors of the National Land Agency, staff of the National Land Agency, title recipients, members of the media, other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the afternoon session of the National Land Agency's inaugural Systematic Land Registration, SLR for short, Systematic Land Registration titling ceremony. And you know, as far as school goes, you have morning shift and you have afternoon shift. So we were pleased to have conducted the morning shift. And here we are again, this time conducting the afternoon shift. And so we'll mark the register. Flaggerman? Anybody from Flaggerman? All right. Potsdam? Berlin? Burt Savannah? All right, all fully represented. Welcome, welcome. Now this morning, we celebrated with 12 landowners who received certificates of titles for land that they have been in open, undisputed, and undisturbed possession for 12 years or more under the SLR program. During this session, we will transfer the pride and joy experienced by this morning's title recipients to 18 other specially invited guests who will also receive certificates of title this afternoon. For those just joining us online, we're streaming live via the NLA's YouTube channel and Facebook page. And we encourage you to spread the word and cause it to go viral of the stellar work being done by the government of Jamaica through the NLA. And we also should use the opportunity to say a big thank you to partners of the NLA, Geoland Titling Limited, for their tremendous support over the years. We're going to begin this afternoon's proceedings with an attorney at law who has extensive experience in land registration and conveyancing and has made significant contributions to the country's robust land titling program. Please help me welcome Mr. Jeremy Palmer, Chairman of the St. Elizabeth Southwestern Adjudication Committee, to deliver his remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Master of Ceremonies. His Worship the Mayor of Black River, Councillor Derek Sangster, the Member of Parliament and Minister, the Honourable Floyd Green, the CEO of the National Land Agency, and Councillor Whitney Smith, who is also here with us. My good friend, Mr. Garfield Knight, I have to mention him, from Joland. I have written down what I have to say so that I will be brief. I hope I succeed in that regard. I want to say thanks for the opportunity to make a couple remarks on this historic occasion. This presentation is not about me, but allow me to say securing titles for Jamaican citizens has been my life's work as a lawyer. It has been a trying part as the take it out. Yeah. It has been a trying part indeed. And as a professional course, it has had many setbacks, many pitfalls. This systematic registration process has been long in coming. This is a joyous day for me to see that it has finally been achieved and that in fact we are delivering titles through this mode of titling. I have often said that full registration cannot be achieved if you are doing the titles on a case-by-case basis. It has to be a movement. And I'm glad we have reached that stage because this is the only way. And I want to say that the economic impact that this titling program will have on Jamaica cannot be calculated in this generation, because it is going to open up a new door, a new opportunity for people who own land. Once they have a title, they have security. And most families in Jamaica, the only asset that they possess is a little piece of land. And now that they have been liberated and have a title in hand, tremendous economic opportunities will open for them. Let me say, however, that as one who practices in the courts, mostly in the civil jurisdiction, I would like to say that we can't stop here. I really believe Jamaica needs a land court. If it is not a formal court system, it should have the force of law, that when it rules, because a lot of matters that come to the court, a lot of matters that have dispute over land cannot be solved by the English common law. Many of them are systems where you have to establish a right of priority. And you know what is beautiful about this program? It helps people to resolve a lot of difficulties over family land. And in that regard, I want to say a special thanks to the NLA. The NLA has hit the ground running in terms of this titling program. The NLA and a band of young professionals who are the adjudication people out in the field. They are enthusiastic, they are committed, but I can tell you because they call me sometime in the dead of night to raise issues with me. And today, the fact that we have come to this point is due largely to the work that the adjudication committee, the adjudication team has done on the ground. Let me also say thanks to the CEO of the NLA, Ms. Cherise Walcott, who has led the process over these year or so. I want to thank Minister Aubin Hill, who began the process. I want to thank especially our Prime Minister, whose vision and commitment to the whole titling program has been extraordinary. I look forward to working with the program in the years ahead to give of my advice when asked for, and even not asked for. I will offer it because I believe in this program and I believe it has a liberating process, a liberating effect on the family land that has been held captive for centuries from some of the rightful owners. I'm happy to see some faces here that I recognize receiving their title. Many have gone through various tribulations, but thank God your day has come. Thanks to all the participants. God bless you all.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Palmer, for your presentation. We're truly grateful for your invaluable contribution to this program. Our next presenter is the Mayor of Black River and Chairman of the St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation. He's a community-oriented gentleman who has made an indelible mark on communities in St. Elizabeth. He has served the parish going about 50 years now, almost 50 years. It's a public service calling to which he responded when he became caretaker of the Southwest St. Elizabeth constituency back in 1974, before I was born. As mayor, he remains committed to putting in place social, economic, and environmental initiatives that will lead to the development of the parish. At this time, let's hear from His Worship, the Mayor, Councillor Derek Sangster, Mayor of Black River and Chairman of the St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Master of Ceremonies. Honorable Floyd Green, Member of Parliament for this constituency, Southwest St. Elizabeth, my colleague, former Mayor, Councillor Jeremy Palmer, Councillor Whitney Smith-Curry of the Brompton Division, Ms. Cherise Walcott, CEO of the National Land Agency, and let me embrace members of all the other agencies, whether they be Titles Office, Geoland. Welcome to St. Elizabeth here today. Members of the news media, principal of the Newell High School, ladies and gentlemen, recipients here today of their titles, a pleasant afternoon to you. Let me say that, like my colleague Jeremy Palmer, I am proud to be here this afternoon to be part of this program, this handing over of land titles to recipients from various sections of the parish. I thought you might want to know, just by way of a little history, for those of you who might not have known, that St. Elizabeth was once one of the oldest and largest parishes. It was named in honor of Lady Elizabeth Modiford, wife of Thomas Modiford, governor of Jamaica in the 16th century. But as some of us might know over the years, pieces of St. Elizabeth, being the kind of persons that we are, pieces of St. Elizabeth have been given away to form other parishes. And thus we are left, I think, with the third largest parish, the Rock of St. Elizabeth. Today, ladies and gentlemen, recipients, today you will be receiving a little piece of the rock which is named St. Elizabeth. Indeed, this should be a proud moment for you recipients who are receiving your titles today. Owning land is one thing, but to have that undisputed evidence, the title, that document, which is the evidence of all evidences, is to me the ultimate satisfaction. Owning a piece of land, ladies and gentlemen, is a tangible investment and an asset that keeps increasing in value over time. As we all know, they have stopped making land a long time ago. The good Lord. Not they, the good Lord, the good Lord. And therefore, the value of land will increase exponentially. Some people have said to me day by day, you know, you hear a price last month, and this month you hear the price of it. It is perhaps one of the most valued possessions, if not the most valued possession that an individual can have. It will provide lasting financial security and contentment, and will certainly give peace of mind to you and your family over the years that lie ahead. This government will continue to create the avenues to facilitate ownership to land and titles, to make the lives of our citizenry better. Let me, ladies and gentlemen, in closing, encourage you all to protect that asset. Protect your assets with all that you have. But protecting is also important, but to build on what you have received here today. Because with your title, so many avenues open up to you that were not available before today. Once again, we thank the National Land Agency. We thank the government, Member of Parliament. We thank you. We thank all those GeoLand who are involved in this effort to make title available to our citizenry for lands which have been held in their families perhaps for generations, but that single most evidence was not available to them. Congratulations to you all. Cherish the moment. Cherish the time. You have become part of history today. Once again, I welcome you all, and I entreat you to enjoy the rest of the day and enjoy what great St. Elizabeth has to offer. God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Your Worship, for those encouraging words. The agency appreciates your support, and by extension, that of the St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation. Ladies and gentlemen, our keynote speaker for this afternoon is an adopted son of St. Elizabeth. He was actually born in the second city of Montego Bay, but he made the Breadbasket Parish his home when he moved here at age 6. In 2016, he made his mark on the political scene when he became the Member of Parliament for the great constituency. That ties in with what the mayor said a while ago. Well, he said the great parish. Now we're at the great constituency. Right. He became the Member of Parliament for the great constituency of Southwest St. Elizabeth, as well as becoming Jamaica's youngest Minister of Agriculture in 2020. His youthful exuberance is one of his most endearing qualities, as he has made meaningful contributions to nation building, including the crafting of Jamaica's new Face of Food strategy, which focuses on strengthening food security, the development of agribusiness, the introduction of climate-smart technologies, and the expansion of exports. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the Honorable Floyd Green, Minister without portfolio in the Office of the Prime Minister and Member of Parliament for Southwest St. Elizabeth.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sir Dervan. And I will say, not adopted, son of St. Elizabeth. Mayor, His Worship Derek Sangster, Mayor of Black River, Councillor Jeremy Palmer, or Councillor for this Pedro Plains Division, Councillor Whitney Smith, Councillor for the Brompton Division, other members of the political electorate, of course, one of the most important persons here, Miss Cherise Walcott, our CEO and Commissioner of Lands, and the entire team from the National Land Agency, other specially invited guests, members of the media, and of course, our recipients. I see also Mr. Giles from the NIC and my friend here also from GeoLand, our critical partner. Good afternoon, everybody. I said it earlier and I will say it again. Today is a good day in St. Elizabeth. Don't you agree? Today is such a wonderful day. And it's a wonderful day because finally we have some of our residents who are going to get their title. And I say finally because I can tell you, being a son of St. Elizabeth, growing up here and understanding the challenges that so many of our people go through to try and get their title. Me just have to laugh today. As me, I would have said, me glad back boss. Because it has been a cumbersome task. It has been a difficult task. And it's even more difficult for residents of St. Elizabeth because for years, our land and our ownership is largely determined. In other words, we know who owns the land around us. We know how it come by. We know who did left it and who get it. And we have occupied it for far more than 12 years. But yet still, it has been a difficult task. But today is truly the lining on that silver crown. And more than that, it is signaling the start of a new paradigm in Jamaica where the government, through the NLA, is making it easier for every single person to own their piece of the rock. I want you to give the NLA a big, big round of applause. So I really want to thank the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation and the team at the National Land Agency who have been working assiduously to deliver thousands of titles to Jamaicans under this new systematic land registration program. And for those of you who don't know, the law was passed in and around 2018, 2020. What's on the move fast? The law was passed recently. So this is, when we say this is new, and this is something that has come through policy intervention, and you've heard about it from Mr. Palmer, and of course, it builds upon the need that we have seen on other programs. But this is a special program that really recognizes the need for property registration right across Jamaica, but especially here in St. Elizabeth. So the process that the NLA has gone through is that they have declared a number of areas as systematic adjudication areas. The agency was able to display 29 adjudication records and prepare applications, resulting in the issuance of 2,572 certificates of titles. And this is work that has been ongoing. And the reason why we're here in St. Elizabeth is because, unfortunately, St. Elizabeth has a land registration rate of only 41%. What does that mean? The majority of the land in St. Elizabeth is unregistered. And in fact, it is the parish with the second worst record. So I am elated that not only my constituency, but constituency right across St. Elizabeth, including communities like Flagaman, Lacovia, Burn Savannah, in total, 15 communities are going to benefit from this program. But we're not stopping there, because already the NLA has identified 10 other areas, including Bellevue, Rose Hall, Southfield, and will be moving to issue an additional 1,000 certificate of titles right here in St. Elizabeth. Doesn't that deserve a big, big round of applause? So when you look around and you see the small numbers, this is just a part of the people who are getting titles. Because of the COVID-19 protocols, we had to just select some of you from each community. But hundreds of Jamaicans right here in St. Elizabeth are benefiting from this program. So you see, ladies and gentlemen, Jamaica is truly in a state of transformation. And what we're trying to do is to position our people and generations to come to get a greater level of personal security, to be able to operate with a higher level of efficiency, to ensure that you have the security of tenure that you need to free up some of the financial resources that you want to live a better life. So you can invest more, so you can plan more for your children, and imagine the joy of not only having your title, but being able to pass on your title to your children. Isn't that a liberating force that will really move our people out of poverty? So under this program, as you would know, the government of Jamaica has advanced the entire cost for legal and surveying fees. So we are really pulling out all the stops to ensure that there is no barrier to you getting that title. But the Prime Minister made the point, and I have to make the point. There is nothing that is free. Everything, somebody is paying for it. So the government has determined that we're going to use some of the taxpayers' funds to ensure that people can have their titles, but I want you to all appreciate that this is an investment. And a time will come, especially if you plan to treat with the property, if you plan to take out a loan or you plan to sell, that you will have to repay some of that investment. And that is very, very important. The beauty is that when you're talking to St. Elizabeth people, you don't have to convince them about that part, because we are not a handout type. We just want it to be made easier so that we can get what we want. So I really want to commend the beneficiaries who are receiving your titles today. You are helping us to build a stronger economy and to enhance the quality of life for all Jamaicans. And not only that, you are helping us to transform these communities. And I'll say two more things before I come down. I have to touch a little bit of what I am doing now and how everything ties together. You know, when we say we transform in Jamaica, we're not just ensuring that you have your title in your hand, which is important, but we want to transform how we go about our day-to-day life. We have to keep up with what is happening across the globe. And you see, as I sit here, you know that people are watching us all over the globe. As the people put up their cell phone, and you have so much power in that little device that you have. Right now, I could be talking to somebody watching me video from New York, and I want to say hello to the people who are watching me now. I made that point because we live in a digital society. And part of what the government is going to be doing is using this digital platform to ensure that through identification, we can unlock the sort of resources that we need. All of us understand that it is still too difficult to do some simple things in Jamaica, like open a bank account. And when you go, you have one piece of ID, they ask you for JP letter, they ask you for the picture that the back sign to prove who you are, who you say you are. And a lot of that has happened because we haven't developed a central identification system. And this government is going to do that in this year with our national identification card. And I tell you that because we're going to be working with the NLA to use that national identification card and to unlock their electronic systematic adjudication system. We're on the same page, CEO? We want to start doing a lot of these things online. We want to ensure that you don't have to travel anywhere to access the services. But in order to do that, we have to prove that you are who you say you are. Makes sense, not true? So we are going to be working with the NLA to ensure that through our national identification system and through the work that they're doing in developing their systematic adjudication system electronically, which is intended to be custom built and to meet the specifications set out by the agency's Adjudication Services Limited, that we're going to see how we can digitize the land adjudication process so that it can even function more efficiently. And we are sure that once that is done, it will save time, it will offer greater levels of security, and it will ensure that we can reach more people. So the last thing that I will have to say is, please, don't take what is happening here for granted. The fact that you are a beneficiary under this program means that we're going to expect a lot for you. We expect you to ensure that you use that piece of property as an emblem of hope for you and your family and your generations. We want you to not be afraid to tap into the formal economy and use the title that you now have to expand. You might want to set up a liquor shop. You might want to use it to ensure that your children can get tertiary education. I know this is what we're passionate about, and it has been hard because you can't prove that you own a piece of the rock. And you know, I was here earlier, and a police officer said something to me, and I promised him that I would share it. And he said I should share with the title owners that they should not allow crime to devalue the value of your title. You understand what I'm saying? As Mahathir is saying, and he's right, the mayor is spot on, that land is an asset that appreciates. But there are certain behaviors that can depreciate, bring down the value of your land. So if you live in a peaceful, safe community, your land will continue to appreciate. But if we allow crime to seep into our communities here in St. Elizabeth, then our land values will depreciate. So you have now an even greater responsibility to do all you can to work with us to keep crime out of our beautiful parish. We want to keep it safe. We've been doing a good job, but we can do better. And I'm saying you are newest landowners. I want you to be on the front line to ensure that the value of your property will never go down and will always go up. So I will close where I started. This is a really good day for the people of St. Elizabeth. And I want to thank the NLA. I want to thank people like Mr. Palmer, who have really committed their life's work to trying to make it easier for people in rural Jamaica to get their titles. I want to specifically thank Senator, the Honorable Aubin Hill, who, when he went in there, I said, Minister, ensure that you focus on St. Elizabeth. And he never needed any convincing. And you see the results of that work. And of course, none of this would be possible without the vision of our Prime Minister. And as such, I want to thank the Most Honorable Andrew Holness. Yeah, man, you can give him a big round of applause. Who has set an ambitious target that over the next 3 years, we will deliver 20,000 titles. That means 20,000 Jamaicans will own a piece of the rock. And I am sure that it will be done. But more than that, I am sure that when it is done, it will really be a catalyst to transform Jamaica. So God bless you, and remember hold on to your title.
For a moment there, I thought the minister was going to break out in song. Hold on to your victory. Hold on to your title. After all, we really appreciate your motivating presentation, Minister, and we look forward to your continued support for the systematic land registration program and seeing what more you have in store for this constituency and the country on a whole during your tenure as Minister without portfolio in the office of the Prime Minister. Now, this afternoon's proceedings have culminated at this point because this is where, and this is the moment that our title recipients have been waiting for, our 18 specially invited guests will now receive their registered certificates of title. And already on the platform and ready for this exercise is Mrs. Hope Harnett, Senior Director, Business Services at the National Land Agency, and she'll be taking us through this part of the program. Let's hear it from Mrs. Harnett.
Thank you, everyone, and a pleasant good afternoon to you all. Honorable Floyd Green, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, kindly allow me to adopt the protocol that has already been established by the chair. We are on to the most exciting segment of the program, which is the reason why we are all here today. And it is not just a good day, it's an awesome day. Our title recipients are excited, and they're ready to go and to get handed out our titles. So let's start. Big congratulations to all recipients of the land titles that have been issued under the Systematic Land Registration Program through the National Land Agency, NLA, Adjudication Services Division, and in partnership with the GL Land Titles Limited. We are asking our title recipients to come on the platform when your names are called and to receive your canister, then return to your chairs where you will be ushered to the table to sign for your duplicate copies. So without any further ado, I'm going to call on Honorable Floyd Green to come forward, please. I'm going to ask you to give out at least 5 titles for us, okay? And I'll call the names. Miss Eileen Delfair Legister. Smile. Thank you so much. Mr. Mikey Blake, please come forward. Let me correct it, Mr. Mickey Blake. Thank you. Miss Carleen Ebanks. Okay, on to Mrs. Zenora Reynolds Davis. Thank you. Mr. Jerome Edwards Morris. And Mr. Darlene Ibang. Come on in. Thank you, Honorable Floyd Green. And at this time, we're going to call upon Mr. We're going to call upon Mr. Jeremy Palm. Mayor, sorry, excuse me. His Worship, Mayor, Council Derek Sangstow. Okay. Calling Miss Amoy Banks. Thank you. Miss Brenda Johnston. Thank you. Mr. Richard Daly. Thank you. Miss Debbie Marcus Stedman. One more for Mayor. Mr. Gregory Brooks. Thank you, Mayor. Okay, at this time we're going to call upon Mr. Jeremy Palmer to hand over a few titles for us. Thank you. At this time, I'm calling on Mr. Vinton Earl Alexander. Okay. Mr. Raphael Levy. Thank you, Mr. Levy. Mr. Neville Spencer. You want to take a picture? Mr. Neville Spencer. Mr. Bernard Thomas. Thank you, Mr. Palmer. Okay, at this time, I would like to call on our CEO, Ms. Cherise Walcott. Miss Georgia Foster. Mr. Silvert Wayne Facey. He's not here at this time. Miss Caron Rosemary Stedman Clacken. Thank you. And finally, Mr. Clarence George Whiteley. Thank you, Ms. Walcott. I'm going to now call on Mr. Joseph Giles to come forward to do our last two titling presentation of titles. Okay, Mr. Leroy Earl Williams. Yeah. Represented. And lastly, Miss Andrea Anne-Marie Maureen Austin. Thank you very much, Mr. Giles.
Sure, I'm sure you can do much better than that. Let's hear it one more time for our title recipients. This afternoon's presentation of titles has been equally as remarkable and exciting to witness as this morning's presentation. These residents put their trust in the systematic land registration program, and they are certainly not disappointed. And that brings us now to the end of the afternoon's proceedings. And the lady who knows how to say thanks is going to do that right now. Let's hear from Mrs. Harnett as she moves the vote of thanks.
Thank you. And at this time, I'd like to invite Honorable Floyd Green to come forward. We'd like to present you with a small token of our appreciation. CEO and Ms. Walcott. Thank you. And I'd like to invite on stage His Worship, the Mayor Council Derek Sangster. Thank you. And at this time, I'd like to call Mr. Jeremy Palmer. Please come forward. Thank you so much, Ms. Walcott, Mr. Palmer. On behalf of the National Land Agency and NLA, it gives me great pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks to all the attendees for this afternoon's session and to acknowledge everyone's help with deep gratitude. As philosopher Alfred North White has said, and I quote, "No one achieves without acknowledging the help of others." NLA thanks our keynote speaker, Honorable Floyd Green, Minister without portfolio in the Office of the Prime Minister and Member of Parliament of Southwest St. Elizabeth, for delivering such a vibrant address. Your commitment and support to the systematic land registration is well appreciated. His Worship, the Mayor of Black River and Chairman of the St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation, Councillor Derek Sanso, NLA, thanks you for delivering your remarks, and by extension, the entire St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation for your support. Mr. Jeremy Palmer, Chairman of the St. Elizabeth Southwestern Adjudication Committee, the NLA thanks you for your unwavering support to the agency and your continued work in the adjudication of land rights of the people of St. Elizabeth. Special thanks to Assistant Commissioner of Police Michael Smith, who is in charge of Area 3 for attending this morning's ceremony, and to the police of the St. Elizabeth, who, under dutiful supervision of the Superintendent Dwight Daly, offered enforcement of the disaster risk management enforcement orders at today's inaugural event. We are truly appreciative of the core commitment to maintaining order as you serve, protect, and reassure. We also wish to thank the title recipients of Southwest St. Elizabeth for their participation and trust in the program. Especially commendation to the organizing team of the Flaggerman Community Center, who assisted with today's mobilization activities. The support of the community and their enthusiasm is a testament that we are on the right path. Sincere gratitude to Mrs. Audrey Ellington of the Newell High School for welcoming and supporting the National Land Agency hosting for today's event. Your contribution is vital to nation building, and for this we are truly grateful. Today's ceremony would not have happened would have not have been realized without the stewardship of our CEO, Ms. Sarit Walcott, whose sound guidance and leadership led the team towards ensuring that our citizens benefit from an efficient titling system. Likewise, the team from the Adjudication Services Division, led by Ms. Shalise Porteous, her team are foot soldiers in this revolutionary program and who have spent weeks in the field gathering information crucial to the program. Your individual contributions are integral in continuing the success of the systematic land registration, and the NLA salutes you. Our private sector partner, Geoland Titling Limited, headed by Mr. Arfield Knight, bolstered the Adjudication Services Division efforts, and for this we are grateful. Geoland's partnership boosted the agency's efforts in ensuring that the surveying of parcels to create the cadastral maps of the program were completed, which aided the process of being able to present persons with their registered titles. Senior management team of the NLA staff, I want to say a big thank you. Today's inaugural titling ceremony is a testament of your hard work, tenacity, weeks of planning, and commitment to the mandate of the agency. Special commendation to the Business Services Division, which coordinated today's event, our Surveys and Mapping Division, which provided the quality assurance for all the surveys completed and submitted under the program, as well as the Land Titles Division, which prepared certificates of titles that have been presented to you today. I also wish to acknowledge the support of Lands Officer in the Estate Management Division, who also worked tirelessly and were instrumental with the day-to-day and on-the-ground activities in St. Elizabeth in preparation for today's ceremony. Special thanks also to our Information Communication and Technology Division and the Corporate Services teams who assisted us in the logistics for today. NLA extends gratitude to our media partner, Jamaica Information Service, JIS, for today's live stream, which has allowed Jamaicans both home and abroad to watch today's titling ceremony in real time. Thanks also to our decorators, production resource system, for the seamless execution of today's event, and caterers, our Kingsman restaurant, who blessed us with the deliciousness of St. Elizabeth. We also wish to acknowledge Jake's Hotel, Lashins Hotel, and Villas, as well as Sunset Resorts and Villas, for accommodation of the staff and a warm St. Elizabeth hospitality. To the residents of the declared systematic land registration areas and the wider St. Elizabeth, NLA thanks you for your support of the program and for commitment to nation building. Because of you, we stand here very proud that Jamaica will realize its goal of being the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and to do business. Last but not least, we'd like to thank our moderator, Mr. Dervan Malcolm, for leading us through today's proceeding with ease and with grace. I leave you all with this quote: success requires dedication, hard work, unremitting devotion to the things we want to see happen. It is therefore clear from the NLA's work that we are unrelenting in the highest ideas of quality service. We are committed to seeing that our people are given the opportunity to own a piece of Jamaica, the land of their birth. Through commitment, we stand steadfast in facilitating one agency, one goal, committed to serve you better. Have a wonderful evening, and thank you very much.
So all that's left for us to do is to say a very special thank you to Mrs. Harnett for thanking everyone. Thank you very much. On behalf of the National Land Agency, I'd like to thank every single one of you present this afternoon for sharing in this momentous occasion with our fellow citizens. This is a truly remarkable event for these persons, but also for Jamaica. The government, through the NLA, remains committed to expanding this system by incorporating technology and innovation to provide high-quality land administration products and services. The aim is to increase land ownership prospects for citizens, as improving equity in this area will lead to the overall prosperity of the nation. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for being with us today, whether in person or online via the NLA's YouTube channel and Facebook page. The NLA truly, truly appreciates your support. I'm Dervan Malcolm, and I'm personally grateful for the vote of confidence invested in me by the team at the National Land Agency. Thank you so much. You are a very professional, efficient team, and we just want to wish you all the success that life has to offer. And we say a big thank you as well to the team from Medicare on duty all day today. Thank you very much, Medicare. And so the National Land Agency, you know the tagline, right? No, I didn't want any member of the team to say it. But those of you with your titles, at some point, you'll need to stand and hold that canister with the title and say, the National Land Agency, one goal, committed to serve you better. Oh, you're ready to do it now? Are you ready? You think you'll remember all of that? All right, I will lead and you will follow. After three, here we go. 1, 2, 3. The National Land Agency, one goal, committed to serve you better. Thank you very much. Well done. Congratulations again. All right, so we're officially, the official part of the event is over now, but do not leave. Recipients, do not leave. Do not leave. Stay where you are, because we will need to populate that canister. In other words, we need to put your title in it. right? so, so, so you need to sign for it and all of that. And we also are going to have some photo opportunities. So with the recipients, your opportunity to be photographed with the minister, with the mayor, and with the former mayor as well. So that's how things will flow. And also, we have some refreshments for you to my left. Please don't just go and enjoy the refreshments. In other words, don't be shy about it, right? Just enjoy it, all right? Thank you very much. God bless you. Take care.